We are trying to find out information.
Let's see how we do.
We are once again in the shelter.
So
It has been
anyways,
shocking and detailed
I
that
got
has
this
deserved
friend.
this so much
Only
more.
a
The
friend
alarms
ain't
did
my
not sound. The
friend no
alarms did
more
not sound.
because
So
he
this
ain't
has
getting
absolutely
his day
surprised us
started.
all.
Okay.
We have
Seems
two
this guy does
impressive
not
bomb
respect
blasts
the
that have
weights
fallen
and
meters from
business.
where we are.
Lives over in a project on
Please
Galveston
tell us how you
Street.
are receiving
Named
us.
Teddy Benavidez.
We are receiving the audio and video transmission very well, but this time you did not receive an alert.
It's burnt.
Perfect. I hear you with some
So
difficulty,
be it.
Guillermo, but I
Fine.
understand you are
And
receiving
you
us
bet.
well.
Hey, kidnap paid double. Good. But you mess up, bad things are gonna happen.
Over the airport, one just exploded. I will tell you, 100 meters from where we are. We will try to pinpoint at the moment we are outside, but the surprising element is that the alarms have not sounded. That is just awful. It's a surprise. I thought they were never surprised at anything, but now they're being surprised.
In 200 yards. Turn right. Please make a U-turn where safe. Calculating route.
All right, so he's crying about how he's not receiving the alerts. He will go on and on and on about the alerts, the alarms. They're not working. Look at him. He's still talking about the alarms. We're all so shocked. The alarms are not sounding. The alarms sound, but the alarms are not sounded. The alarms. Blah, 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 blah. Okay, yeah, we get it. Number of deafening strikes on Tehran following. So here's Tehran. We don't have any confirmation on Ben-Gvir. We know that he was critically wounded in an Iranian airstrike that targeted his home, although the Israelis, I'm sorry, the BBC is reporting that Ben-Gvir was in a car crash. It's sort of like health-related incident, like the Americans are saying, every time there's a casualty. Yeah, if BBC has a cover story, then it's real. Exactly. Exactly. Don't believe something until it's officially denied. Then you'll know it's true. Here's the third night in a row we're seeing Iranian missiles flying past Israeli AD, air defense, like it's nothing.
I got more to worry about the guy with the cigarette.
Operation Shook and Wow is continuing apace.
You know what department Teddy Benavidez is in?
Let's see, breaking Iran's foreign minister Arakchi says it's too soon for him to make any comment. We're all waiting for his speeches and comments, which would come later on. I don't think the question of talking with Americans and negotiating. Let's play the clip.
The leader of Iran. Some say his selection is a message of continuity of his father's leadership, of continued defiance to the U.S. and Israel. Do you agree with that? Is that the message Iran would like to send?
Well, I think that is a correct evaluation. It shows that the continuity.
I think they're really fucked, Lake. I think it's a whole fucked up situation. You know, and I just, all this religious ideology is really just a big turnoff for me, okay? I'm not a deeply religious person, and I certainly am not obsequious to idolatry and fanaticism. So, to me, it's a net negative.
Don't know how, but he knows where your apartment is.
I think feeding children is vastly superior and more important than being Jewish. And I think if it was one of the two options, I would always pick feeding children over the preciousness of some religious identity. It's ancillary. It's superficial. It's not the most important thing. I mean, what's most important is that people have human rights. They have human dignity. They're allowed to be here. and no one can claim some ideological justification on why children need to be starved. Anytime you double down and you start trying to justify the unjustifiable, you're cooked. That's it. It's over. Doesn't matter what you say. You're done. I don't care what it is. In fact, I want to ridicule whatever your reply is, whatever your justification is. I'm going to ridicule that. I don't care if I even am that, or if I, if maybe you're wrongly interpret, whatever it is. I don't care. You're not going to convince me that the preciousness of your identity is more important than feeding children.
Some sort of stability at the same time.
And since his selection, has he or anyone in your leadership had any contact with U.S. officials? Is that something that he is open to talk about negotiations or a ceasefire?
Yeah, let's ask the foreign minister of Iran if he's open to negotiations. The very thing that they've been doing for the past year is negotiating in good faith with the Americans and the Israelis, and they've been backstabbed and lied to and deceived. At the moment of truth, they're struck, they're sucker punched. It's called perfidy. It's a war crime, and the United States is guilty of it. And that's just starters. That's just for starters.
Well, first of all, it's too soon.
So it's laughable. It's insulting, in fact, for our own United States corporate media to invite the Iranian foreign minister on a live broadcast and ask him if he's open to negotiating. And does everyone understand why that is? Because you should.
For him to make any comment, we are all waiting for his speeches and comments, which will come later on. But I don't think the question of talking with Americans or negotiation with Americans once again would be on the table, because we have a very bitter experience of talking with Americans. We negotiated with them last year in last June, and they attacked us in the middle of negotiations. And again this year.
I did, Algo. I did, yeah. The one where he says he's going to hit Iran 20 times harder if they don't open the Strait of Hormuz.
Try to convince us that this time is different. They promised us that they don't have any intention to attack us. And they wanted to resolve Iran's nuclear question peacefully and to find a negotiated solution. And we finally accepted. But again,
we're dealing with this really toxic, unsustainable, volatile, for lack of better words, state. Yeah, not 20 times. Oh no. It's like when Donald Trump was threatening that certain H letter group in Palestine, in Gaza. And he's like, if they don't release the sausages, we're going to give them hell. It's like, what are you talking about? Look at Gaza right now. You think that there's something else you can threaten them with? Are you serious? No, you're not serious. You're deeply unserious, in fact. Thank you, the franchise, for the privilege of having the time and energy to be concerned about a religion is something a starving person never has. Thank you so fucking much, because this is definitely a point that I've been trying to get through to people. You can pray in one hand, and shit in the other and see which one fills up first. I mean, if you try, saying like, oh, God has me, I can forgo all earthly desires. Well, try not eating for a month and see, and just pray to God for a month and don't do anything else. Since you say God's got you, right? So obviously, clearly, there are identities and behaviors and actions that are more significant, more important in society than being religious. And religion, it requires zero ideology. It requires zero religious ideology as well, but zero ideology to be a good person. We have innate moral faculties that are present just in the human experience. It's like our faculty for vision, right? Our faculty for hearing. It's a sense. We have a faculty for morals that supplant and supersede ideology. And these things are innate to the human experience, human nature. It's human nature to want to help, to be collaborative. And, you know, if it wasn't that way, we would have died off many eons ago. But I agree with you. It's a privilege. I like the way that you characterize that. It's a privilege to have the time and the energy to place your own religion as the base identity for you as a person is a privilege. And it's a lie, because it's not actually your base identity. Is not what religion you celebrate. But it's a privilege to, you know, say it or to pretend like it is. And I really don't like when our news media tries to frame everything in religious context, because you're deceiving people. That's not what the conflicts. That's not what the antagonisms are about. It's not. Different religions are not inherently antagonistic towards each other. There are a lot of contradictions in society. There's a lot of contradictions in all kinds of societies, but it doesn't mean that they're antagonistic. It doesn't mean that they you know, are vehicles for antagonistic violence. No. However, the class antagonism is inherently antagonistic. It does create friction. It does create violence. But not differences in religion, only differences in class. Who is the head of the Mossad? Is a guy named David Barnea. Thank you, Girthy Goy. I will reset the goals. I appreciate you keeping me updated, by the way. The head of the Mossad is David Barnea, and he might have been killed last night. I know that I think we can expect a whole slew of reports like this. Every time we're checking the news and waking up each day, I think we're going to see more of these Israeli officials being targeted.
Sorry to hear about your loss.
Sadly.
I'll be in touch, Nicky.
Because we don't want to see anyone meet their untimely demise. You know? So, I don't know. It's being reported that David Barnea has been neutralized. So is Netanyahu's brother.
Maybe they'll schedule another one.
Apparently, allegedly, ostensibly, maybe even Ben-Gvir himself, the national security minister. Nobody even knows if Netanyahu's alive at this point. Nobody knows where he is. Are you calling me son? Because I'm your dad, so you're the son and I am the father. So are you finally moving out of your mom's place? Is that what you're telling us? Because if so, I support that move. It's something your mother's been talking to me about. We've had many long conversations about how you need to really move on. You're 37 years old. You know, it's time to get a full-time job, maybe rent an apartment. You don't even need to be like, you know, it's not like you have to move to another city. Just move out of your mom's house. She's done so much for you, you know? It's like she raised you. You know, you're in overtime now. Okay? Give your mom a break.
3 rounds of negotiation, and after that, the American team in the negotiation, you know, said itself that we made a big progress.
You know me.
Still, they decided to attack us. So I don't think, you know, talking with Americans anymore would be, you know, on our agenda anymore.
What do you want?
Well, I just wanted to say thank
Support
you.
your local PBS station. Your local station needs you now.
Well, guess what? You just gave me $5, Krusty, for free.
What are you up to?
Well, after what happened,
So the joke's on you,
I just
pal.
wanted to change my life, turn things around.
Here's Tel Aviv 2 days ago.
He over in the projects up on Frankfurt Avenue. Please don't kill him.
Wing of Shoe, thank you. BB's hiding in Adolf's cellar. No, I don't think that's true. We thought he was in Berlin, but that turned out to be a dubious claim.
Tonight, a CNN investigation revealing unredacted videos of young women, including at least one minor who says she's just 15, posted by the Justice Department as part of its Epstein file release. The videos showing women's faces and bodies unblurred, in some cases in compromising situations. MJ Lee is out front. Unredacted videos of young women that CNN has censored here are among the millions of Jeffrey Epstein-related files released by the Justice Department.
Bad luck with this.
An extensive CNN review of the Epstein files uncovered at least 7 videos featuring unredacted women.
Save humanity.
Hi from Deville.
This girl, dressed in a bikini and heels, seemingly doing a model walk, says she is just 15 years old.
So, my name is I'm 15 years old. That's the dog over there.
Wait here. I'll teach him his lesson.
Mango Tones, thank you so much for the 10 gifted. You're up to 50 gifted subscriptions to the stream in the past 2 days, and we so thank you for that. That's awesome. Big time W. Thanks. Everybody say thanks to Mango Tones.
It was only after CNN inquired about them that a DOJ spokesperson said Thursday the videos in question have been removed and are being reviewed for appropriate redactions. This error message is now in the video's place. One of the videos included brief nudity when a young woman pulls up her shirt to expose her breast after singing Happy Birthday. The publication of these videos risk the potential re-victimization of women who may have been abused by Epstein years ago. It was also in violation of the DOJ's stated criteria on what information would be redacted in the Epstein files in order to protect the victims.
Do y'all ever get night terrors? I used to get night terrors when I was sleeping, and I would it's almost like you're possessed by this demon. It's like you're half awake and half asleep, but it's like your mind is awake but your body is still asleep. It's a weird disconnect, and it's terrifying. It literally is a night terror.
I helped her out.
And there's nothing more terrifying than being awake but your body, you have no control over your body.
She's no good for you.
And then
Forget about
just also the feeling of
absolute
absolute doom, because you're you know that you're awake and you're in your bed, but you're still asleep, and you're so it's a weird thing. But I say that because everything that's going on, it just reminds me this is a real-time night terror. It's like if the night terror just lasted forever, and everything we're learning about our world is just so dark. It's much darker than we initially assumed. And I think as each day goes by, I realize more and more that there really is no justification for any of this. Everything needs to be dismantled. You know? Wow. Really? Don't you dare speak about Dorothy that way, okay? She's a saint. I will not have you talk about my mother like that, okay? Thank you, Duchess, for becoming the latest and greatest member on the YouTube Live. I do appreciate that.
To protect victims, we redacted every woman depicted in any image or video, with the exception of Ms. Maxwell. We did not redact images of any men, unless it was impossible to redact the woman without also redacting the man.
Like so many other Epstein files,
I'm going to redact your mom if you're not careful, chatters. Hard and deep. Fuck around and find out, okay? You'll get your mom redacted. No moms are safe.
It's Nico Bellic. I'm here for an interview.
This is hilarious. Oy vey. This is a live. This is a shot of Ben Gvir just as that was going on. This parody account says Ben Gvir is not dead. We just don't know where he is. Exactly. It's almost like he wanted it. Look, he was just about to get in the hole. But unfortunately, here's a photo of him right now. Look at that. Orange Man burning down the world. All right, we saw that. Here's a destruction of the satellite communications center south of Tel Aviv. It's massive. You won't see this in mainstream media. According to Zionist media, Iranian side is already destroyed. You know, it's really amazing that the firing is still continuing. All these strikes that are still happening after we eliminated 130% of their launch capabilities. That's just wild. And after Trump is telling us that we have complete victory, pretty much, he says, word for word. My wife thinks I like getting up at 4:30 in the morning to feed the baby, but I really know that Iran likes to drop missiles on Israel at 5 p.m. Eastern, and there might be a video on Twitter. It's literally, I think that's most people today. When they wake up, they're like, all right, what happened to Israel last night? Please hit us with some good news. Speaking about last night, here's last night Iran hitting Israeli bases embedded in residential areas in Tel Aviv. Say it ain't so. The military are hiding underground while using civilians as human shields. They're forcing the Iranians to BOMB their cities instead of coming out and fighting in the open. That is so sad.
Welcome to Goldberg, Ligner, and Shyster, sir.
You might think that those
Mr.
plumes
Bellick,
of
welcome.
smoke have something
I'll just
to
see if
do
Mr.
with
Goldberg is available.
the True Promise
Mr.
4,
Goldberg,
but
Mr. Bellick has
it's
arrived for
actually
his
not the
interview.
case. Those plumes of smoke just
Okay, great.
are
Tell him to come through to my
announcements
office.
Would you please follow
that
me,
Tel
Mr.
Aviv
Bellick?
has picked the
Sure.
new Jeffrey Epstein. Okay, it's a bit of an old joke, but, you know. There it is.
Mr. Goldberg is such a saint. He teaches
Empress
kids to swim,
Obvious, you are
He's
the
just
best.
so
Thank you
warm
for
and giving.
making the
All he
switch.
cares
You made
about
the
is
switch from
making the
Twitter
world a
to
better
YouTube,
place.
and now
And
you're
boy,
a
are you in
premium
trouble if you
member,
get in
and that
his
is
way.
awesome.
I always get
And
nervous.
just a reminder
before
that all my
interviews.
members, who I love so much,
He's just
including
in
my own
here.
member,
Don't be nervous. He doesn't bite.
sorry, but you know that members
Hello,
only
Nico. What's that short for, Nikolai?
get premium access to all my
I'm
live
looking for a
uploads,
man
and
who
that
can
is
get jobs done right.
it's quite a perk.
Nikolai, I like your resume. You seem to be the sort of man who would go
So we
the
thank
extra
you.
distance. I just need to take another look. Get myself reacquainted with your
I hope you're enjoying the fireworks. Breaking reports of a missile strike on Isa Air Base is being reported by DDJ Politics an hour ago in southern Bahrain, with fires reported at the facility.
Looks at the world, sees problems, and tries to fix
The
them.
base hosts U.S.
My
Navy
problem
P-8
is that
Poseidon
people don't notice the
Maritime
decay
Patrol
in
aircraft, the
society.
primary platform
leave
used
the
for
decay
submarine
alone,
hunting and
and soon
surveillance
it's too
across the
late, so you
Gulf.
have to pull the whole tooth.
Yeah?
Hezbollah
guy who
claims
goes
it hit
around
a third
shaking
Merkava tank in
people,
Qiyam
read
while
society,
ambushing
read
IDF
City
soldiers
Hall. I
retrieving
shake
a dead
'em,
scene
and
and
I
burning
say
like the
floss.
others.
Get rid of the rotting flesh stuck in your teeth. Prevent decay. Mouthwash. You hear me?
Lady Graham
There's
says,
this
I'll be with
good pop,
Israel
but he thinks
until
he's
my
above the
dying
law.
day. Well, I
He's
hope
not.
that's sooner rather
Wanna
than
know why?
later there,
Because the law
Lindsey
is
Graham.
clear.
All the isolationists.
I'm going to crush him into dust.
Forget it. I'm
No
not
one
with
is
you.
above
I'm
my
with Israel.
judgment.
I will be
You understand
with
me?
Israel to our dying day.
Okay.
They're the best ally
Here at
we could hope for.
GLNS,
So we
we're
have a
pushing
commander-in-chief in
things to
President
the
Trump,
limit. We're
who I
on the
think is
front
wrong.
line,
That's what
young
millions of dollars will do,
man. A man
okay?
that was recently within this
You can
office, in this very room, was murdered.
hurl
You gotta
money
fight
at a
for what is
senator and
just
he'll
in
just
this
start
world.
saying whatever you need him to say.
Anyway, give me an example
Reagan
of some
plus,
time
plus,
when you've
plus.
worked as part of
All
a
the
team.
anti-Seminites
I
to
work
all
alone.
the isolationists. I don't believe.
So, you know, metaphorically speaking, Lindsey Graham in this video is bending over,
So, are you going to expand on that, or are you just going to
pulling
hang
down his
around like a...
pants, and just
Whoa.
spreading
Where are
his
the
ass
files for your case
cheeks
against McCreary?
for that
Shit,
big,
they're on my
fat,
desk. I never
platinum
hurt
kosher
anyone.
dildo
I wouldn't be
to
here
be
if you'd never hurt anyone.
jammed up his booty hole by Benjamin Netanyahu.
Nikolai, this city needs me.
He
Don't
loves
kill
it.
me.
He loves it so much. He's willing to turn against his own constituents down there in South Carolina.
forget it. I'm not with you. I'm with Israel. I will be with Israel to our
I was
dying day.
never
They're the
here.
best
You
ally we could hope
understand?
for. So we have a commander-in-chief in President Trump, who I think is Ronald Reagan plus, plus, plus. All the anti-Semitic.
He's like Ronald Reagan plus plus plus. You guys need some new heroes, man. And new just
Just a wound. You want me
new
to
ways
finish?
of saying it. I don't know.
There's some limited use with Starlink and limited other options, but by and large, the responses from the Iranians that I've spoken to has been overwhelmingly in favor of the United States.
Yeah, maybe it is Emu Cat. What's wrong with the asshole?
And Israeli action on the ground. They're very happy that regime targets.
Emily, you've been talking to Iranians on the ground about the strikes and about Iranian leadership going forward. How do the Iranians you're talking to, how do they see the future unfolding in Iran?
We haven't, DC, but we totally can. I'll try and find it and pull it up.
Of course, there's a lot of uncertainty and there's a lot of problems with the internet still being shut off, although there is some limited use with Starlink and limited other options. But by and large, the responses from Iranians that I've spoken to has been overwhelmingly in favor of the United States and Israel.
Are the Iranians that you spoke to in the room with us now? Which Iranians are these? Come to find out, they're actually Israeli. Israeli occupation forces are smashing surveillance cameras across Tel Aviv and other Israeli-occupied cities as part of a media blackout policy aimed at concealing the extent of damage resulting from Iranian missile strikes. I love how they went through the trouble of dismantling these security cameras so that nobody will notice, but they filmed themselves dismantling the cameras that they didn't want people to notice. According to Larry Johnson, a former analyst for a U.S. intelligence agency, the reason Israel is controlling the information so tightly is that they are taking a severe beating. Larry Wilkerson, a retired U.S. Army colonel, added, the amount of damage the Iranians are inflicting on Tel Aviv is very bad, and these attacks are relentless. This is not a one-off hit. It continues relentlessly. So, producer Berg said, shut it down. Stop the noticing.
I can get between them.
Let's hop into Suleiman space. What do you say?
Reading a quote from Dwight D. Eisenhower. Here it goes. Every gun that is made, every warship launched, every rocket fired signifies, in the final sense, a theft from those who hunger and are not fed, those who are cold and are not clothed.
All right, I don't need to hear your fucking Bible verse. I don't care what the Bible has to fucking say. I really don't. I'm so through learning about religious ideology and imagery and beliefs and history. Shut up. Shut up with it all. I don't care. I don't need to learn your nativity, history, story, origin, myth to understand that what you're doing is wrong and what they're doing is wrong. We don't know if Ben-Gvir is dead, all right? That seems to be the topic of the stream. I know that's what I said. I said, is Ben-Gvir dead as the title of the stream? It's a question. We don't know. We really don't know.
Here are the files. Great. Peace at last. I
We do
feel
know that this is
cleansed.
the Tel Aviv skyline
You silenced
right now.
Goldberg too, right?
What time
I don't
is
need
it
to
in
worry
Tel
about
Aviv?
him. He's done.
I always ask.
Whoa,
It's got to be. Let's
music
see.
to
if
my
it's
ears. A
5
weight has
a.m.
been lifted. Here's your payment.
5 a.m. in Tel Aviv. What a time. What a time. All right, let's see. You said Propaganda & Co. has a new video. Let's Synagogue of Satan. That's right. Propaganda & Co. has a new video. Let's see what this is. Trump, Chabad, False Messiah, and the Iran War.
The war in Iran has many people wondering, do they
own Trump? The answer to this question is yes. Trump is literally owned by them and bears the mark of his master on his ear to prove it.
Said, take a look at what happened.
Now, you might think I'm crazy or anti-Semitic for saying this, but given everything that is happening in the world, I think there are less crazier ideas. And if you give me just a few minutes of your time, I think this will make sense to you. Now, before I continue, you need to know that it doesn't matter if you believe in religion or mysticism or eschatology, because other people do, and they have power, and they are using this power to act on their beliefs, regardless of whether or not you share them. Everyone knows that the Jews believe in the coming of their Messiah. But what many people don't know is that the Jews believe the Messiah is alive in every generation as his soul transmigrates upon death from one body to another. Therefore, the Jews aren't waiting for the Messiah to come because the Messiah is already here. They are waiting for the Messiah to reveal himself, and he can only do that in a messianic age. So in order for the Messiah to come, the world must be in a messianic age. So think of the Messiah as a flower and the messianic age as a pot. The two go hand in hand. Now, a long-standing debate in Judaism is whether or not Jews should passively wait for the Messiah and the Messianic age or actively attempt to trigger it. Should Jews be patient and righteous and focus on obeying God's laws as they wait for redemption and salvation from exile? Or should they act upon the world and trigger the Messianic age, acting as tools for God's will and thereby redeeming themselves? Well, there have been all sorts of movements in Jewish history from those actively attempting to trigger the Messianic age. The most infamous cases are Sabbatai Zevi and Jacob Frank, both of whom were inspired by Lurianic Kabbalah, claimed to be the Messiah themselves, and encouraged their followers to act in ways that triggered the Messianic age. Remember this because it will be important later on. Now, you might remember that Trump launched this war with Iran on behalf of Israel on the eve of Purim, the Jewish holiday commemorating the Jewish victory in Persia. At the time, Persia was led by King Xerxes. Xerxes ruled over a massive empire that stretched from India to Ethiopia. He had many advisors. One of them was a Jewish man named Mordecai, but his top advisor was a Persian named Haman. Haman and Mordecai had a rivalry. After a series of insults, Haman attempted to convince King Xerxes.
Mordecai is such a funny name, don't you think?
To not only kill Mordecai, but to eliminate the Jewish presence in Persia. But after his wife, Queen Esther, revealed herself to be Jewish and a series of other events, King Xerxes decided...
Yeah, baby, thank you for becoming the latest YouTube member. Xspira, appreciate you.
Instead, to execute Haman. While Jews didn't conquer Persia in battle, they survived exile and execution. The king had a Jewish wife, and Mordecai remained his advisor.
We, the Jewish people, are commanded to destroy the enemies of our people in all times, in all places, as happened, as described in detail in Megillat Esther, in the book of Esther, where we...
Look, we do all of these, it's completely normal, this is what we were supposed to do, it said so in the book of Esther. What do you want from me?
Find that 75,811 of our enemies...
It was written and so it is so. Nothing can be changed. It is written in the book of Esther.
Were destroyed, including women and children. Why did this take place? Why were so many people killed? Why were women and children killed? But the answer is very simple, straightforward. Perhaps it is not politically...
It's because we are the Jays.
Correct, in the eyes of some. But it is the true, authentic, and absolutely essential message of Purim.
Yes, it is not correct, but it is supranationally correct. Because we are the Chosenites, we exist by this greater world order, and we have a higher moral code than just you lowly goys.
Is the central truth of it is rather commemorating and remembering a past event in order that we know how to behave today in the present and in the future. Amalek still exists. We read every year before Purim, we read Parashat Zohar, where we are commanded by Hashem to remember that which Amalek did to us and to destroy them.
So the Jews celebrate this day as a sort of victory over Persian civilization. For this reason, many found the connection between Trump's Iran war and Purim to be much more than a mere coincidence. In fact, a CNN article made this connection as well, confirming its significance. But the connection to the Iran war is actually much deeper and darker than just Purim. You see, King Xerxes was the grandson of the greatest Persian leader to ever ever live, Cyrus the
our
Great.
duty.
Cyrus is best
If you
known
say
for
so.
conquering
Oh, I do
Babylonia
say
and
so.
birthing a new Persian
wanna make
civilization
things a
known
bit
as the
better
Achaemenid Empire that
any
would
means
stretch from the
necessary.
Balkans to India
And you?
to Ethiopia.
What do
But
you
Cyrus means just
I
as
want
much
to
to
get
the Jews
paid.
as he does to the
Sure.
Persian people. During the time of
Yeah, sure you
Cyrus,
do.
the Jews were exiled
So
in
listen,
Babylonia. The Jews ended
got
up in
something I need you to
Babylonia
do.
because they were a client state of the
This is the
Babylonian
last
Empire.
time.
After a series of rebellions, however, the Babylonian king
Some
Nebuchadnezzar
drug dealer is
conquered
holed up in a
Jerusalem and
tower block
destroyed
in
Solomon's
East
temple,
Holland.
otherwise known
This
as the
scumbag's
first
been
temple.
pushing
And in accordance
drugs,
with
pimping
Babylonian
women,
custom,
you
Nebuchadnezzar
name it, he's
deported the
done it.
Jews to Babylon in
I
order
need
to
him
prevent
dealt with.
another uprising.
Thank you,
Isn't
Colonel
that
Joe Moore,
police
for
work?
becoming the latest YouTube member on the
Sure.
live. Appreciate you.
And the
In
moon is
Babylon,
made of
the
cheese,
Jews,
and the
like other
streets are
exiled
paved with
peoples,
gold.
were allowed to practice
Wake
their
up!
faith, but were not allowed to
Excuse
return
me?
to
The
their
guy's
lands. But
guilty
the Jews
of
had
sin.
hope that they
He
would
is
one day be
sin.
liberated.
Play ball.
But
God revealed
take
to
me
the
a
prophet
year to get the
Isaiah the
evidence.
coming of Cyrus
More, maybe.
some 80 years
And
before
maybe
he was
good
born,
men will get
specifying
taken
his
down
name
by
and
that
how God would
evidence.
use him. The prophet
Maybe
disclosed in
people
chapter
make
45.
mistakes.
Use me, God.
This
I'm
guy is
Cyrus.
scum.
You can use
How much?
anything you
How
need.
much?
Any hole you require,
money?
dear Lord.
What the Lord would do for Cyrus,
Fugees.
his anointed Messiah.
Who?
He would make him a subduer of nations,
You
give
mean
him
5.
riches, and bestow upon him a title of
You know,
honor, even though Cyrus
if
would
someone
not
was to tell
acknowledge
me you
him.
was
In
some
addition,
fresh
God
off the
would
boat
use
killer
him
with
to
more
conquer
balls than
Babylon, where the
brains,
Jews were
I'd
being
say he
held
was
in
about right.
captivity. The Lord's chosen ally will carry out his purpose
Okay, you
against
got a
Babylon.
deal.
His
Head
arm
on
will
up
be
to Bauxite
against
and
the
call me.
Babylonians. Even I, have spoken.
Didn't I just say like how uninterested I am in this religious BS? Like, oh, here's a bunch of shit that never happened. Let's read about it. Yeah, you wanna listen to some magic from ancient times? Yeah, this shit never happened. Check it out. All right, now you should totally let your life be ruled by this thing that was written down thousands of years ago. It's really, look, it says it right here. And these are words that were written down many years ago. We should take them as sacrosanct and live your life according to whatever the words say. You know?
Disappointed with the capable leader appointed and the presence of the people, which is the foundation of the Islamic Republic's legitimacy, the country has shown itself.
I hate historical video essays, and I love Propaganda and Company, and I'm not trying to minimize or slight anything that he does, because he's great. It's just that when you start talking about the Bible and shit, and it's like giving me a history lesson about all this religious mythology, I check out. I start to it gets real dark in my head. I start like having really bad thoughts. I start thinking about all of your mothers.
We have no idea. We spun it out into
stronger than ever.
For many Iranians like these attending this demonstration, this is a moment to rally around the flag despite public dissatisfaction.
You know, Squeepeesh, I think you're right. I would enjoy that.
This among segments of the society. The new supreme leader, around 30 years younger than his father, will now be dealing with
true.
a range of challenges.
I mean, that's about as much as you can say, is that like, okay, really powerful people and maybe not so powerful people believe this shit.
In the midst of a war, and his decision will.
So that's how relevant it is.
I'm outside the project. Where is he?
Domestically, he is inheriting a country.
I couldn't have said it better. Worst, Emily. Absolutely, that was the best, Emily. Best comment. Thank you.
Anyway,
with a crippled economy. At the same time, there are major foreign policy challenges ahead, particularly regarding relations with the United States. This is a delicate situation, and how the Iranian new supreme leader is going to deal with these challenges determines the next
Francis
chapters of
McCreary is the community now? You're starting to sound like your friend Manny.
Lebanese armed group Hezbollah.
I think if he tries to do that, I think Israel will probably nuke Iran. I think Israel's going to drop a nuke on Iran.
You might want to go home.
Hezbollah has launched rockets into central Israel. The attack left 16 people with minor injuries. It also damaged a daycare center and other infrastructure. Israel's Foreign Minister Gideon Saar says there have been more attacks from Lebanon than Iran over the past week. That Hezbollah attack came hours after Iran launched its wave.
The only other thing I could think is, like, what if Iran gets to the Israeli leadership first? So if Iran is successful, and we don't know if they are. I mean, they might have already been successful in their da capo strikes against the Israeli regime last night. We don't know if Ben-Gvir is alive. We don't know if Netanyahu is alive at this point. I mean, we know that both of those homes were targeted and they were hit, and we have received reports that Netanyahu's brother has been killed. We also received reports that Bezalel Smotrich's son was killed in a separate incident. We at least know that he's been injured. I don't know if... Yeah, we definitely don't know that Bezalel Smotrich's son was killed in Gaza, but we do know that he was injured. Yeah, I know, that would be amazing. Amazingly bad. I mean, I think is what you meant, right? Because we don't condone any form of string music, aka violins. I would have thought. In fact, I just tweeted. I said, any updates on Ben-Gvir? Seeing if anybody I've got here. I'll show you this tweet. See what people are saying. Because nobody seems to know. So this guy says, give it 48 hours, more info will come out. Why? What? Stop spreading this. What are you talking about? I'm asking a question. Yeah, they say that David Barnea, the head of Mossad, has been killed. They say Smotrich. Yeah, see, this guy is saying, yeah, it's true. Pray he suffers the worst. Piece of shit. Yeah. Just like muttering these comments. Yeah, probably shouldn't say that out loud. Sure thing. See, I mean, they continue to report. There's this weird clip we saw. No contact for. I don't know. People are sharing that. We really don't know, though. I mean, I would love to say, yes, it's true, but we really just don't know at this point. Sometimes a meme is worth 1,000 words. Apparently, Smotrich's son was injured in Gaza, and they say that he had shrapnel in his liver, which I didn't know demons had livers, but apparently they have a similar anatomy to humans. So yeah, it's being reported that he has a damaged liver. It's about the only thing you could worry for of all the things in Israel.
Allies to our friends in Saudi Arabia. I am willing to do a treaty to go to war for you, but you got to step up and let America know you're a reliable ally. If you cannot join this fight, Iran has attacked your country viciously. What fight are you going to join? This is a time of choosing. We need to put a coalition together that stands against.
Yeah, I'm sure they'll have a. I hate to say this joke because it's so dark, but I'm sure they'll have a Palestinian liver in some freezer somewhere that they could replace it. And you know, liver is one of the few organs that actually grows back. Did you know that? Yeah. No luck for your penis though. That's not gonna. What you got is what you're stuck with. I'm sorry. You're destined for a life living with a wet chode. I'm sorry.
Let's go forward and just finish on this thought to the American people. allies to our friends in Saudi Arabia. I am willing to do a treaty.
Let's see, Lima Thao, you say to refuse examining the worldviews of others is to condemn yourself to conjecture. That's a good way of putting it, forever explaining their actions through the distorted lens of your own assumptions. Precisely. That's exactly what Americans do to a large extent. Not this American, but definitely we project our own cynicism, I like to say. We project our cynicism onto other peoples and cultures. And we assume that it's just human nature or something.
War for you.
But thank you for your kind comment. You're right. You can't understand what you will not look
But
at.
you got to step up and let
Don't criticize what you can't understand, right?
America know you're a reliable ally. If you cannot join this fight, Iran has attacked your country viciously. What fight are you going to join? This is a time of choosing. We need to put a coalition together that stands against evil, that insists on a
Evil.
better Mideast. Let's don't.
All right. Well, there you have you Ladybug Graham. He wants us to form a coalition against him. He just said it.
Go backward, let's go forward. And just finish on this thought. To the American people, allies, to our friends in Saudi Arabia, I am willing to
gape my butthole for you, Israel. Honest question, do we actually believe the U.S. casualty numbers? Of course not. Absolutely not. And, you know, I learned over the weekend, and I know I shared this before, but there was a blood drive in a German town that was situated right next to a U.S. military base. And they were announcing this blood drive in this newspaper, this German town, happening at this hospital. And they were talking about how they had to, like, close down their triage unit or their whatever unit was devoted to pregnancies in order to account for what ostensibly is a mass casualty event, because we know a lot of these American soldiers that are being evacuated from the Middle East are heading to German Air Force bases. So yeah, thanks for your question. Two wolves were sitting upon a hill looking down at a herd of cattle. One wolf looks at the other, says, "No, let's go eat one of them." Confused, the other says back, "Why don't we just eat them all?" Thank you for that fable. What an allegory for the current situation. Look at this. 5 minutes ago, this is being posted from Drop Site News. IRGC signals shift to heavier strikes under new Supreme Leader with Wave 33, baby. We're on the 33rd wave of Operation True Promise 4. Iran's IRGC said earlier today that it carried out Wave 33 of Operation True Promise 4, launching more than 10 solid fuel Khyber Sheikhan ballistic missiles. It's ball till they fall, baby. Toward Tel Aviv and the U.S. Navy's 5th Fleet base in Bahrain. The strike was codenamed Labayek Ya Khamenei. At your service, O Khamenei. Honoring Iran's newly appointed Supreme Leader, Aerospace Force Commander Brigadier General Majid Musavi said that from now on, no missile with a warhead weighing less than 1 ton will be launched. 2-ton Tillies, baby. From here on out. Iran's IRGC said earlier today they shared new footage showing the launch of 2 Khorramshahr 4 ballistic missiles. Said we're headed towards Tel Aviv. Let's take a look, shall we? Get your glasses on. Down. Get your glasses on. The future's bright. I love it when those
beers,
rockets
and a
get
pack of
wrecked
cigarettes all at once.
and they
now when you crash your sports car
go
through
up in the
front door of
sky,
a fast food
big and
restaurant, you'll
strong,
pass a breathalyzer.
hard
the
and
Alcatine
girthy.
patch. It's half alcohol, half nicotine, delivered transdermally and discreetly, so you feel relaxed
Something
and
about it, man.
refreshed. Pick up the Alcatine for
Makes me grow a big old rubbery one. All right, I'm sorry. That was gross. That's actually from a movie. I don't remember, but I'm not that. I'm not like that, okay? The missile can feed families, a family of 4. Well, we've hit another goal. That's awesome. Goal achieved, baby. Thank you so much to everyone that's been gifting super chats. You guys keep me going. You guys keep me strong, wide, and long, and full of girth, and I appreciate that. Thank you, Rex James, with Hannity and Graham. Which one is the pitcher and catcher? That's a good question. I'm going to say that Graham is the catcher just because he's Lady Graham, you know. He loves going to Israel. He gets on his grinder when he goes out there in the promised land. He takes a trip to Israel every 2 weeks because the nightlife. He likes to go there. He likes to sing and he likes to dance. He just wants to dance again and shit his pants maybe too. He's a funny little guy. But yeah, he likes the little lady boys over there in Israel town. He has to keep up with them. Goes over there every 2 weeks. Says he. He sure did, yes. Oh, my word. That was Tel Aviv. We can't watch that. That's antiseptic. Tourist says his hotel resort in Dubai is next to empty after attacks in Dubai.
The hotel's getting. Well, good morning. Start of another day. It's going up 10 o'clock.
Oh, no, not another Australian inconvenienced by the war. They were just coming to Dubai to vacation, innit?
Good morning now. And I think you've heard me going on about how quiet the hotel's getting.
Why is the hotel so gay? Pray tell. All right, he's British. Whatever. It's the same thing. It's like the difference between Britain and Australia is like the difference between hot and cold. It's like you're still English. It's just like in Australia, you're like sweaty English. And in England, you're like cold English. But they're both English.
If you look down here, I know it's in a bit of shade, but even so, there's just nobody about. I know.
Yes, there's nobody at the 5-star resort. Can you believe it? It's a tragedy of epic proportions.
There's a few guests.
Normally, I mean, it's Sunday. You know, there'd be brunch and a show, but pity. Couldn't even take in the theater.
In hotel, but there's not many. So if it this is why I'm showing you this video really, because you know, there's just normally a couple of weeks ago when we first arrived, them beds would be nearly full. You'd be lucky to get a bed, to be honest. But look at this now. It's other one.
American is a poorly educated English? I don't think so. American just means that you're English, but you have a personality. That's all.
Calculating route. Please make a U-turn where
Children's
safe.
pool. But there's no families around. Nobody's saving beds or anything. It's just completely quiet. And the only thing I can see is that chap over there in adult pool doing his morning exercises, I suspect. But it just gives you an idea of how quiet this place is getting. And with what's going on, it will really hit this economy. There's no doubt about it. I mean, if it's like this in this hotel, I'm sure it's quiet in other hotels and all. And I feel sorry for all these young fellas there who are working. I've not come across one member of staff who I could say, you know, who I have not told.
This guy can't even order his fucking room service. He can't even get his cheese Danish
Agent Lucas and leads just like this.
or his creme brulee.
Mile. Turn right.
I bet he's seconds away from writing a Yelp review about this.
Got on with it at all. I mean, they're all absolutely brilliant, absolutely sound people, and it's just a crying shame to see what's gone on.
What a crying shame, lassie.
And the difficulties.
Well, is he Scottish? I don't know.
They're perhaps going to go through this year because of it. So I just hope it gets sorted out quickly, and these lads and ladies can get on with their lives. You know, and this place will be back to normal.
Oh man, yes. Let's get back to normal. It was so normal in the glory days of the Gaza genocide. It was such a peaceful place, Dubai.
Okay, but
But now they're saying Dubai bye. Dubai. Nice to know you.
Say there's nobody out there whatsoever. I know it's 10 in the morning, like I say, but there's still usually quite a few people around normally. Right, I'm going to get off because I'm going down.
Yeah,
to
you better get off. Don't tell me what you're doing in the bathroom.
Dubai Mall. We're going to have a bit of a shopping.
Oh, he's got to take it a little bit of shopping.
Morning, just having a wander about, something a bit different. And I'll get back to you all at some point. Bye now. Well,
oh, look, he's back.
Morning. This is just a follow-up from the video I took upstairs before I came down for breakfast. And as you can see, there's nobody here.
Hey, you should have great service then. I'd be thrilled.
Well, there is. There's one or two. There's a young lady out there.
That's crazy. The building's still standing? Good.
I'm right tired.
You have arrived.
People are still, let's see, yeah, so Suleiman saying, breaking an hour ago, Finance Minister Smotrich's son with severe injury could be dead after Lebanon invasion goes wrong. Zionism Observer saying that this tweet proves genocidal intent. This is the 20 times harder tweet, which we read to you a couple times over the stream. Additionally, we will take out easily destroyable targets that will make it virtually impossible for Iran to ever be built back as a nation again. Death, fire, and fury will rain upon them. Sounds a lot like, you know, an Israeli defense minister. You heard influences in UAE evacuating are just abandoning or euthanizing their pets instead of taking them. Why am I not shocked to wits? I've heard, and this isn't taking a step further because euthanizing your pet is horrendous. I could not live with myself if I ever had to do that. But I did hear that in true Israeli fashion, okay, this is kind of amusing. Israelis are actually setting fire to their homes right now because they want to claim the insurance. So even if their home is safe from an Iranian ballistic missile, they're still setting their fire to their homes just so they can squeeze out a few more shekels for the coin clipping community. And then, you know, don't worry. I know it's technically illegal to commit insurance fraud, but they've got a chicken to swing about it.